Here is why you will fail and not get a job in your first 10 interviews. There are only several things that can be done in an effort to sustain nowadays. You could do business if you know it and have some investment affordability, or you would run for jobs. Now, I am assuring you that there are other means of earnings. But as people say, exceptions cannot be examples. So, with that regard in mind, I will only stay with the conventional and most used ways. Jobs are in particular a cruel way to turn employers into slaves. Although it sounds terrifying, it is what it is, and I am not making this up by myself. Because freelancing and working jobs are totally opposite of each other, it is certain that people will go for jobs anyway. Freelancing is a risky business, as there will not be a signed deal and you will not be paid per job or monthly, or even you will not be paid a single penny. Due to the job security concerns, average eligible persons will barely think of doing anything other than an ensured job opportunity. Now, jobs are naturally hard to get, and you will need to abide by all the weird and unwanted regulations set by your recruiter or boss. Also, you will find hard times to get a job in the first place. This is the topic that I am willing to discuss. When I write about a problem, I usually do not try to give a convenient solution, even if I know somewhat. I generally do not cite that. But this subject, in particular, is a useful one and may bring happiness to oneself, so I will give you some rare tips as well as my own expertise. An interview is a key thing. Without it, no job can be assured. No matter what, if you pass the initial application and related vocal or written tests, still you must face the table of interviews where your pursuit ends. You know when it passes with a success or a failure. But all of the interviews are not the end of the world. If you cannot pass those, you should not be upset or get depressed about failure. As I told you in the title, you will never pass your first 10 interviews. It is not a joke, and the statement deserves dedicated attention. The nature of interviewers or recruiters, in general, is simple and elegantly discriminating. They are always there to ask you gazillions of questions, not to care whether those questions are in parallel with the appropriate capability testing, or those could be flat out pointless. Interviewers always want to question the integrity of your own care for responsibility as well as capability, thus making you nervous with each new injection of questions spitting in your face. Now, I am going to tell you why you are going to fail in those initial interviews. At this point, there will be people who will happily say to me that they have got the job of their dream in their first interview or two. I am agreeing with this phenomenon. Why? They are all untruthful, more or less. Trust me. All of those claimers never got a job even in their first 15 interviews. Do you know why? Because this is how it works. A person will never be capable of properly dealing with an interviewer unless he or she finished at least 10 consecutive interviews in the past. Convincing the recruiter fully is the official motto to secure that job. The skills and techniques required for a successful interview are almost absent from a fresher who calls himself a prospector. Due to such lacking, it is hard to be the winner in the game named interview. Needless to say, you will still never be a perfect one who successfully passes every interview after getting a job or two. An interview is like a game of psychology. If your interviewer likes you, only then you might be considered for the job. A good qualification of a job test can never give assurance that you will be rightfully that person who is lawful for the job position. At the moment, it seems that I am going to write down a research paper for a PhD degree in interview, but for the sake of making every chance you a successful one, you better pay more attention during your first interviews. Here are some useful tips for a successful job test and interview. Prepare yourself gradually. Do not think you accomplishing it overnight. Typically, job test questions are made of basic skills as those are mostly used in one's job career. Always keep yourself busy acquiring essential skills through reading books, watching videos online, and discussing with your professional friends. Do not waste time on enjoying. Enjoyments are for when you have a job, not before. Test yourself constantly. Keep yourself active at remembering many things. Take rests whenever needed. Gradually kickstart preparation again. Apply for only those jobs that you are capable of doing. Do not waste time on attending many job tests at a given time, as it simply does not help. Keep checking every offered job on your reach. Apply only after you think that the job is well worthy for you. Consider every possible aspect, such as the place where you will do the job, how far the place is from where you live, how much your starting salary will be, as well as the monthly or annual increments, and what the extra benefits of doing that particular job are. So, here you go. If you need other bits of help, you can always send me messages on Messenger or Instagram at @RaihanSani2002.